These are worth hundreds of bucks?
Yeah, metallic purples.
This tank, how much can you make off this tank in 1 month, you think?
In 1 month, I have the capability of making dollars off of just
one tank?
These are
What's up, guys? So we made it to San Francisco, and I'm here with my boy Hugo. He runs Shrimp Lab USA, and he's going to tell us all about the shrimp breeding side hustle. What's up, Hugo?
Hey, how's it going, Humphrey? Thanks again for coming over. Really appreciate it. Hugo Lopez here, Shrimp Lab USA. I've been in the hobby for a couple years now, breeding ornamental shrimp. I'm excited to show you guys it all.
Awesome. Well, before we break down your entire shrimp business, let's actually take a look at some shrimp, because I'm super curious.
Let's do it.
What's the most expensive shrimp that you own? And how much is it worth?
It's a metallic boa shrimp. How much do you think it's worth?
$300?
$300 to about $700.
About $700?
Yeah. I wouldn't sell it though.
For one shrimp?
I wouldn't sell it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a really good price on it, and it's one of my main breeders, and it should be making not only my lineage stronger, but making me some decent money in the future.
So wait, this tank, how much can you make off this tank in 1 month, you think?
Once I start selling them from this tank in 1 month, I have the capability of making thousands of dollars off of just
one tank?
These are the most exotic ones on the market right now. In this tank, I have boas, metallic boas to be particular. It's also worth so much because they're from a really good bloodline. And so that's what I think people need to understand too, is you can have two of the same shrimp, but if the shrimp's not from good heritage or a good bloodline, it's gonna send out all different kinds of babies. And so then you're gonna be stuck with a lot of lower to middle grade babies. Instead of a really high grade line, like these ones will have way more high grade babies. So then that means you're gonna be making more money.
What's the most you've made on one shrimp sale in the last time we've talked?
I sold 2 males for 120 bucks.
Each?
Yeah, for both of them. Well, 60 bucks each. 60 bucks each.
Hugo shared with us off camera what you need to get started. He suggested 4 red tiger pinto shrimps to start, which are $20 each. Your shrimp will start breeding in about 2 months, and 2 females should then start to carry eggs and produce about 15 babies each, bringing your total to 30 babies. Once the babies have grown for a month, that's when you can sell each for $15.
Where do you actually get the shrimp? You said there's 3 ways?
Yeah, there's pretty much 3 main ways. So there's like home bred shrimp from the US that people have already imported, bred, and then their babies from them bred in their own tanks. You can order off of, like, either meet someone online or go to their website, order them online from Asia and import them yourself directly. The third, and it's usually the best way if you're trying to get imported shrimp, is through an actual importer. They take the risk for you a lot of the time.
Is it like a middleman or something?
It's a true middleman. They've already built a connection with the breeder, and usually they're either related to the breeder or something like that. I'm mostly on Band for shrimp auctions, and
Band is an app?
Band is an app, and you can make your own little groups, and then the groups can kind of do, they can be for anything.
So it's like a Facebook group, but
it's a Facebook group, yeah. And so you can create a group, link people into it, and then they allow sales on there, and so there's auctions and sales for shrimps.
How much time would you say you spend every week, like, maintaining your tanks? Because this seems like a pretty big operation here. You got 9 tanks going on.
I've set up auto waterers using RO piping. If you can see them kind of like wired through, and then I have them all to all the tanks.
Cool.
So what I do is I just set up a little pump with the water already ready.
Yeah.
And then I'll actually, I have to do a water change right now or pretty soon, so we can do that together.
Oh shoot, okay.
Yeah,
can I do that?
Yeah, I can have you help me do that.
I'm gonna change some water.
Well, so what I'll have you do is just, I'm putting it in the water now. So I'll have you suck on it, and then once the water starts coming to like here. Okay, 3, there you go. All right.
Oh shit. You almost got it in your mouth.
My mouth, dude.
So now thank you, you saved me.
I did, I got you. So then I just put it in there.
Lifesaver too.
that way.
And to be clear, people aren't eating this shrimp, right? This is decorative shrimp for your
People
aquarium.
are not eating these shrimp.
Okay.
These are fully ornamental. They're collectors, and the reason they get to be so expensive is purely the rarity of it and how hard it is to actually breed it and keep them going. So, you know, it does take some skill, some patience, and a little due diligence.
So the more rare that the breed is, the more that they go for. So it's kind of like a Pokemon card.
It is literally like a Pokemon card, or it's like breeding like dogs, for instance. You know, when you get those certain tri-colored bulldogs,
Right,
you know, they're
right.
worth tens of thousands of dollars, opposed to the same brother is worth $4,000 or
Got it.
$5,000. So with these shrimp, you know that you have that lineage and you can get those really fancy ones
Got it,
out of
yeah.
it. So then that instantly makes the shrimp worth so much more money.
So I'm here with Paige. You are Hugo's girlfriend,
I am, hopefully, right?
and you're the supportive girlfriend behind his shrimp selling business. What do you think of all this?
I think it's shrimptastic. It's really cool. I think it's definitely a unique hobby to pick up. And it's really just nice to see how much he's grown. I mean, like he said, we started out with these little red ones that we found from just like a Petco. And now we're expanding and buying shrimp from China. So, I mean, it's a huge and like awesome, cool thing to be a part of.
What was your reaction when he came home with like 6 tanks?
I was really worried. As you can see, there's not very many space, and especially having to redo our entire kitchen to make space for our fish tanks. It's more like an aquarium at this point.
Please tell me, how much investment did you initially have to put in to get your shrimp business kind of going?
Okay, so well, I mean, my first was really small, really small. But then once I started growing the you know, needing more tanks, you pretty much need 3 tanks per species you want to breed, so you can grade them out and cull them and stuff like that. Keep a middle grade, a high grade, and a cold tank. I spent a couple thousand for sure. Because
Day one, you might get 1 tank, and you're like, okay, I got a couple shrimp.
Yeah.
At what point do you say, okay, I'm going to scale it from 1 to 6? Like, what's the inspiration there?
Well, for me, my inspiration, it started growing once I started seeing a lot of actually YouTubers teaching about the Caridina shrimp, and it's been such a coveted and really hard thing to learn about for years and years and years, because the breeders held all this knowledge because they didn't want other people going out and breeding.
When setting up your first 5 or 10 gallon tank, there are a few upfront costs before you can start breeding shrimp. First, you'll need the tank itself, which will cost around $50. Second, you'll need 1 or 2 sponge filtration systems costing around $20 each. This is essential for controlling the pH of the distilled water in your tank. You'll also need an air pump, which costs $40. Next, you'll need PVC water tubing to easily put fresh water in your tank, but that is optional. Then you'll need substrate or the tiny rocks at the bottom to help keep the tank clean and your shrimp happy. Lastly, you'll need liquid bacteria, fish food, and moss, which totals about $30 for all of it combined. So the total cost of setting up your new tank will be around $170 to $200.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the fish store right now.
All right, so me and Hugo are going to go to the fish store, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah. We're out here. We're in the heart of the Richmond, San Francisco, California. We're going to 6th Avenue Aquarium right now. Hopefully they'll let us go in and film.
I didn't know this place existed. This is crazy. This is probably like. So this is about the size that you would buy. It's about $50.
Yeah.
This is not in great condition, but
yeah, it's gonna get the job done.
for your setup in your room right now, which
Yeah.
is your 9 tanks.
Yeah.
What's the max you could ever make in 1 month? Like $5,000?
Yeah. I mean, well, it really just again depends on the amount of quality shrimp that come out of those babies.
got it.
But at this point right now, I see definitely thousands of dollars a month coming out of some of those tanks.
Seems like there's a lot of like upfront time commitment, but then once you kind of get going,
Once
it
you're rolling, you're rolling.
becomes a cash flow machine.
Exactly, and so
Love
that's
that.
what.
So hopefully, are you gonna start shrimp farming now?
Hell yeah, shrimptastic.